So here's my starting setup for this white on white assignment. So I've got my one light above. So in this view, you can see the top light against the wall there. There's a clip light hanging from a rafter. And it's raking down this cove I made out of paper, so the paper just has a curl to it. And so I have my white seamless backdrop, if you will. And I bring that down, and this is overall looking pretty good. But however, when I look at it first on screen, you can see that it's not totally even behind. So I need to find a way to probably make these two sides a little bit more even. So I happen to have around the house these foam rolls. So I'm going to kind of put this here without knocking anything over, get this as close without being in the scene. I'm going to put one on the other side. And then these will have more than one option. But then what I can do off of that, probably get a little bit more in, is I can add a white card with a reflective surface, and probably need to turn it this way. Yeah. So I'll have that on that side, and that's bouncing light in. And then I'm going to do the same thing over here. I'll grab another white card, and I'm going to bounce some light onto the backdrop over here. So I'll shoot that, make sure this is even, and we'll go from there. So overall, I've got great light coming here. It's all raking down into this nice little cove I've kind of made out of the white paper here. And that's looking pretty good. I got the white reflectors, and that's bouncing it in to make it more even. So if you can see on screen, you can see that that area is all blown out white. That's my main goal. The problem is there's too much light getting in here, and these bits of the foam core are kind of shiny, and this paper is a little bit shinier than the gauze on this object. So I want to make sure that I have this controlled separately. So I really need to block that light from hitting this area. So I'm going to grab a flag. And so I'm going to gently, without knocking anything over, I got to be kind of careful here. And I'm just trying to figure out how far. So I'm looking at a good spot here, because I want to make sure that I've got it all in place, and I may have to shoot and adjust it as well. If I need to, I'll even brace it, but it looks like it's doing pretty good on its own. I'll shoot that, and we'll see where we're at. Background looks good. I like all this in here. However, it's just all backlit right here. So this is all pretty even. So what I'm going to do is start playing around with trying to block some of the light to make it less even. So I'm going to add a couple flags because I've probably got light bouncing around in the room. And I'm just going to get as close to that foam roll as I can. And that's going to block light that's coming in from the side over here. So there was some light coming that way, probably bouncing off the white wall there, and now it's making it so that I can play more in this area. I'm going to do the same over on the other side. I'm going to try to allow less light to hit that paper right there, because that paper is blowing out faster. So I want to make sure that I can have more control. So I'll just make sure that that flag isn't in the shot. Perfect. And so what I just did here is I added this main light that's coming in. It may actually not be the brightest light in the scene, though the background should still be the brightest light in the scene. However, I added this in to add some exposure here on our wrapped dinosaur. So that way it's going to make it pop out, because otherwise it was just kind of shadowed and backlit, and I want to see some light play on the foreground object. So let's see how that looks. This light helps a lot, however it's too strong. Now that is all blown out on the object. So I got some white paper here, and I'm going to gently tape the white paper without trying to move the light source so much. And this way I've created some diffusion, so I'm going to shoot it again, and we're going to see how that's going to look. Here's the final result. Overall, I'm pretty pleased with it. I was able to get enough texture and detail on the Giganotosaurus wrapped in gauze, and then I'm able to get at least the tones on the paper, so that those little bits of paper and torn foam core, cut up foam core, all that stuff is standing up from the backdrop itself. So that's your main goal. Have a white backdrop, then have subtle highlight tones on your subject in front of it.